So I'm gonna
Got
record.
it.
So we're gonna talk about ads today. Um, Leslie, if you want to come on camera, you can. If not, no pressure. Um,
I'm actually
one of
on
the
the way to pick up Kelsey early from school. She's not feeling well, so I'm hoping that I can get the recording for whatever part I missed. I'm very frustrated.
I feel you. Okay, so welcome to the ad section. I think that this will help kind of decide whether or not you even want to delve deeper into the world of ads because um, there are some misconceptions about ads. There's some things about ads that people just don't, I think, understand. And I think that there's a lot of really false promises out there when it comes to ads. There's a lot of false expectations. And I'm going to try to explain some of the nuance that goes into ads. Um, so if you don't understand why I say something, please tell me to back up and explain it because I want this to be a dialogue between us. And I want this to really clarify some questions that you have about doing ads, not just about the physical mechanics of doing an ad, but rather the how you choose which platforms to do it on. Because here's the thing, I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag for y'all. If you can choose the right platform and you can have the right mindset going into this, Google will throw a huge ad credit at you. Facebook and Meta will throw ad credit at you, and they will throw professionals at you to support you with running your ads. Okay. The trick is more, are you a suitable candidate for ads at this point in time in your business? Does it make sense? Or should you do it down the road? Right. So that's going to be a little bit more of where I center my conversation on rather than the pull the screen up to show you all the physical, like setting up ads. We'll do a little bit of that. But what I want you to know is that Facebook and Google and every ad platform have massive amounts of support out there for their ad platforms, and they want you to buy ads. They want you to spend lots of money on ads, but there's certain things that they cannot know about your business because they just don't know. So that's going to be some of the nuances where we really kind of like delve into some of this stuff, because I feel like if you can get this stuff first and get the basics under control, the rest of your ad experience will go much better. So that's kind of my philosophy. And sorry I didn't get that screen updated. So we're going to talk about basics. We're going to talk about, are you a good candidate to do ads? Should you even be doing ads right now in your business? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to talk about differences in the platforms. I feel like one of the things that nobody talks about, and I don't understand why, is that the platforms themselves are inherently designed to do different things. And you can do everything on every platform, but it's not necessarily going to be profitable. So why would you use a platform that's poorly designed for what you're trying to do? Poorly suited for what you're trying to do. Okay. Let's talk nitty gritty. Should you do ads in the first place? First thing I want you to do is look at your profit margins. What is your profit margin on your products. Do you have at least a 50 to 60% profit margin on your products? If the answer is no, do not collect go, don't pass go, don't collect $200. Do not do ads. Here's the reason. When you do ads, you have cost per product. Okay? When Amazon was first starting for the first large number of years, they had investors. They had vulture capitalists galore. They had investor money being thrown at them like crazy. We as small business owners don't typically have people throwing money at us with no clear timeline of when we have to pay it back. Right? It's not an Uber that can afford to lose money for 10 years. It's not an Amazon that can afford to lose money for 10 or 15 years before having to pay it back. So if your profit margin on your products or services cannot afford, at least a certain amount per item, if you're not running at a 50 to 60% or more profit margin, 70% is better, I get concerned really quickly that you're going to have a lot of orders that are loss leaders, right? So if you are a coach and you're doing one of these really tricky step-up funnels, a $47 to a blah, 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 to a blah, 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 right? Understand that that $47 offer is probably a loss leader, that it is only being used to pay for ads. And that's if you have a really, really good ads manager. Depending on your product or service, you may find that it takes either a little bit of money or a lot of money to bring in a client. So if you are selling baby grand pianos at $50,000 a pop, you may find that it costs you $1,000 or $1,500 or more dollars per sale for ads. You have to be able to budget that, right? And you have to understand ads are not instant. I don't care how good your ads manager is, they're not instant. If you do not have 3 to 6 months worth of ad spend to lose, poof, out the door before you start making money. Don't start spending a ton of money on ads. And I'm not trying to scare y'all, but here's the thing. I see a lot of people who come to me that want that Hail Mary in their business. Ads are not a good Hail Mary. It's a good way to bankrupt yourself. Most people will not tell you this. Most people will be happy to sell you ads for 3 months, watch you go bankrupt and see your ship go down. I'm going to tell you that there's better ways to get sales if you are in that kind of a financial strait. How much did you budget? It depends on the product or the service of what you're doing. Plus, you're going to need to either factor in your time and cost of your time to manage the ads or somebody else to do it. Many reputable ads agencies are going to start at a fairly high rate because most of them are not going to be willing to manage less than a couple $1,000s a month in ads. Okay, at least $1,000 a month in ads. And then you've got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in ad management fees. And that's usually up to about a $5,000 a month ad spend. Here's one of the things. If all you have is $200 a month to spend on ads, there are ways to do it yourself. But you probably shouldn't be hiring an ad manager to do it for you. You should figure out how to do it yourself. And there's particular platforms that are better suited for that than others. So if your ads budget is really tight and squeaky tight, hiring somebody and spending $1,000 or $2,000 to pay them to turn around to have $250 for ads is probably not going to be in your best interest, right? So learn the basics of doing some ads, figure out which platforms, which we're going to cover, and then go from there. The next question I have is, do you have enough inventory? Right? If you are selling a product, do you have enough of the product that you could turn around and sell it? Is it in a fulfillment center? Is it whatever? Is it whatever? It is really hard to manage inventory and ads and everything else, but typically you're not going to run ads for something that you're running low inventory on. So you've got to make sure if you're running inventory that it's something that you have at least 100 of to start with, right? Because if you're doing a product and you're trying to sell it, you've got to have something to sell to figure it out, to be able to debug the whole process. Trying to run ads to sell 3 of something is, I've seen it. I've seen people do it. It can be done successfully. I'm not going to say it cannot, but I would say in general, therein lies madness. So if you're doing ads for something, do it on something that you have significant amounts of volume on to sell. Or make it clear that you are doing a clearance, flash sale, whatever. Questions to this point? Am I scaring y'all? No, probably not. Okay, platform differences. So I have a puppy dog. I have a hungry looking puppy dog. Google PPC, pay per click. And the reason I'm saying it this way is because pay per click is basically you say, I'm selling this keyword and, you know, it is this amount of money per click to get somebody onto your website. Depending on the keyword, it can be 10 cents a click. It could be $20 a click. It could be $100 a click, depending on the keyword, depending on what Google decides the keyword is worth. Obviously, if you are an attorney where you know, a client is worth a lot to you, you're going to be willing to pay a lot more per click than somebody who is selling a product for $10, right? So how much should I invest? It depends on what you're selling. If you own a physical shop, Google PPC is actually really good for that. Google Maps, Google PPC is amazing for driving foot traffic. Facebook ads, I will tell you, not at all good for foot traffic for most retail stores. Google Display can work well for traffic. So Google Display ads are, you know how you go onto the CNN website and you see these little ads on the CNN website? Those are display ads. Sometimes AdRoll also shows up on a variety of different sites, so they're kind of a competitor. Those can work okay for traffic, but your foot traffic is typically going to be your maps and your PPC. Your foot traffic is typically not going to be your meta ads. Meta ads are product sales, something like a free book, a free download offer, a coaching, services. Those types of things work really, really well for meta ads. If you have a free download, you can try a display ad. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. YouTube ads, both the video ads on YouTube and the little videos that pop up all over the place, and definitely meta ads. So Instagram and Facebook. Meta is awesome for launches. I would say Google is not, except if you're doing like a retargeting type of effort. It just, it's kind of that strengths and weaknesses, right? Google is not good for instant offers, which is why Google doesn't work for launches particularly well. Google is more of a set it up and tweak it. Meta, Facebook is much more of a keep changing it kind of a situation. And you have to constantly be tweaking and updating your offers. Google, you do not have to keep constantly updating your offers. So there's differences in the platforms. It's not that you don't update your keywords. It's not that you don't update things, but it's not like you have the offer of the week on, Google. You can try for that, but it's going to be a lot more hairy to get that just right than it is on Facebook. So YouTube can work really well for launches, especially if you're showing videos that are targeted, that kind of a thing in the middle of something. But it's also going to be way more expensive and less of a tried and true effort than doing it on Meta. I would say you're going to have a lot harder time finding people who have that experience with the YouTube ads over the Meta ads, or in addition to the Meta ads or Facebook. Debugging ads. So one of the things you're going to want to know is, ads typically only a small percentage, 10 to 20% work right on the first try. That can be for a lot of reasons. That's why we have to debug them. That's why I tell you not to do ads if you don't have a 3 to 6 month ad spend. If this is a Hail Mary, if it's a last minute thing, if you're desperate, if you're going to cry because somebody spent $67 and it didn't convert, please don't do ads, right? I literally had that happen recently, and I was shocked because I asked those questions up front. I try to be really transparent with people, and I say, hey, don't hire me if you can't afford to lose any money here. If this is going to break you, you should not be doing this. So debugging your ads, you need to look at where people are dropping. Are they clicking on your ad in the first place? That's always a good sign, right? Do you get clicks? And how much are the clicks costing? Now, what happens when they get to your website? Or if it's a Meta lead ad, what are they doing when they get to the chat? Are they just looking for the cheapest carpet cleaner, or what's going on, right? So you might get clicks, but you're not getting clients. That happens. That's probably one of the most frustrating things for people, is that you're getting clicks to your website, but then nobody's doing anything. So then we look at the exact offer on the website. Does your offer exactly match what's on the ad. Sometimes you have to go back and tweak the ad. Sometimes you have to go tweak the offer, right? If the two are not exactly the same, somebody clicked on this ad and they got something different, then that's a problem, right? So if I have an aesthetic spa and I click an ad for permanent makeup and I get the front page of the website, I'm probably going to lose them, right? It has to match. So if I'm advertising permanent makeup, then my ad needs to take them to the permanent makeup page of the website. One of the biggest mistakes that advertisers make, and one of the sloppiest mistakes that advertisers make, is that they advertise a particular service or they try to bundle all of the services and then they send them to the front page of the website. Flip them out. And here's the thing, you need ad budget to be able to determine what's working, what's not, right? So if you are an aesthetics salon that does permanent makeup and facials and eyelash extensions and each of those has to be a separate page on the website. And each of those has to be a separate ad campaign. Now, the only exception to this is that you have a related set of products and you have like a carousel or something like that on Meta. But even like if you're doing products and you've got a carousel going, what happens is each of those products on that carousel should go to its own page. And then the final page in the carousel should go to the front page of the website. Because if somebody clicks a cute sweater, they want to see the cute sweater. How many times have you clicked on an ad and been like, I got the wrong thing, right? So your ad has to match. And that's a big gap for a lot of ads. I think people are getting smarter about doing ads, but I would say 3 or 4 years ago, I was still seeing this mistake a ton. Now it's maybe only 20% of the time, as opposed to like 60 to 70% of the time. Your average marketer is not very intelligent. I'm sorry to say, I apologize greatly. So you need to ask questions before you hire somebody. Here's another thing. Install a pixel. Make sure you install a pixel so you can do your retargeting. Because here is the thing. Cold traffic can take a while to warm up. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to sign up for your Whoosie Watsy Doomaflachi. A pixel is a code that you install on your website that is provided by Meta, and it's in Events Manager. Google has a similar thing. AdRoll also has a pixel/cookie. It's how we track people all over Tarnation, and why you can get away with, I don't like what I'm seeing in my Facebook ads. So I'm going to go onto the Tiffany's website and I'm going to go look at jewelry. And then I'm going to go look at Alexis. And then I'm going to go look at travel. And you do it for retargeting. You send ads to people in a separate campaign for them to see your ad again so that you're warming them up. Because the best ad strategies are ads where you do multiple layers of ads to warm people up. The biggest mistake people can make, and one of the biggest mistakes and most expensive, painful mistakes I have made, like think $50,000, $60,000 mistake, was doing ads for a launch and I did it to cold traffic, or my ad person did it to cold traffic, and they didn't say, don't do that. This is part of why I learned how to do my own damn ads, and built my own stuff after that, because I already knew how to do the social media piece, but I didn't learn how to do ads until after the fact. And it's been about 6 or 7 years. But what happened was that we were running ads for a sale to a $997 product that were cold traffic. You can't do that. You couldn't do it then. You can't do it now. So really what you're doing is you're running ads to people, you're building your following, your engagement, you're getting people to eventually opt into a thing. And then once somebody has opted into a thing, whether it's liking your page or giving you their email or joining your Facebook group, then you're advertising a paid thing. Or if you're doing a paid thing, you have to understand that you've got to follow people all over God's green earth to get their attention first, right? And you can either get them organically or you can do it paid, or the best solutions are a mix of organic and paid, which is why you see, like with Marie Forleo's B School, being very, very successful. Because all of her little affiliates all of a sudden send out their emails, because everybody knows who Marie Forleo is. So her affiliates actually get sales that they otherwise would not get sales for. Yeah. You're a couple months into Meta ads for a high ticket service and breaking even, but it's giving you some great data on what your market is responding to: video and photos and copy. Yeah, exactly. If you break even the first few months into an ad campaign, you've done really well. That's something super important. And doubling down on organic, doubling down on reels, and really boosting your reach organically, and working that organic plus the paid is really where you will drive your organic or your ads costs down. I'll give you guys a funny story that has recently happened to us. And it's part of why I'm testing my viral social media stuff on a bunch of different types of accounts. Because we have a client who has a carpet cleaning service. And I don't think he'll mind me telling you this story, but we started with him doing lead ads for about $250 a month on Facebook. And what was happening was that the leads were through the roof. Facebook was in learning restricted, and the lead cost was through the roof. We were in learning restricted, which was driving the cost up. And the other thing that was happening was that he had a fatal error on his website, and he wasn't posting regularly on his website. So what I did was I said, hold my bacon. I know you're a small business owner and you're going through a lot right now. Don't think I'm going to do this with just everybody. Okay. So it has to be a particular person. And I said, hey, let's stop your ads, except for continuing to do an engagement or a like campaign on your Facebook page. We rebuilt his website from the ground up in a weekend. And we leveraged ChatGPT and NoGPT and did everything and just threw it up. And this guy had to trust that we were going to do a decent website, because it was completely hands off on his side. And we started posting things to his Facebook page for him. And what we saw was, even with $1 a day, once we fixed the website issues, and we were posting organically for him, the number of leads he's continuing to generate is almost exactly the same as when we were doing the paid lead ads. So the next step for this guy is for us to actually do traffic to his website. And I'm looking forward to telling y'all that I got 20 cents a click onto his website and $5 a lead is kind of what I'm aiming for. Carpet cleaners and a lot of service providers in general cannot afford $100 leads, $50 leads, right? They really need leads that are running in the $5 to $10 range. But that requires a website and a landing page that's well designed. It requires all the things to work together. And when you have organic reach, it drives your cost per lead way down because people start seeing you everywhere. And what we're seeing with this guy is that the organic reach, because we're being smart about his organic. Remember, I have a few little tricks up my sleeves for doing weird stuff on organic. And that's how I get 20 million views a month on my own profile. So we're leveraging some of that on his profile, and he's willing to play with his profile. And what we're seeing is that the cost per lead is dropping dramatically. The cost for client acquisition, as you warm people up, as they start to see you everywhere, as your organic reach improves dramatically. And there's a ton of stuff behind the organic, but well-designed organic, intentionally designed organic, where you're putting stuff out that people want to see. The first question of organic is, does somebody want to see this? Right? Why am I sharing this? Is somebody else going to want to see this? If the answer is probably no, then why are you posting that on your social media? Right? If you're creating this beautiful ad that's got all this intricate detail on it, chances are nobody wants to see it. And I'll give you another hint for your ads and everything else. 90%, 95%, almost 100% of your traffic's going to be on mobile. So how big is it? So your super intricate little graphics, they can't see them, even if you wanted them to. And I'll give you another hint. How many women do you know of a certain age and men that refuse to wear the reading glasses? Now, I can't actually see anything about y'all except the fact that you're a blur right now. But imagine that I'm on my cell phone and my vision is blurry. And I should be wearing my reading glasses, but I refuse to wear my reading glasses because I'm stubborn like that. And I'm on my phone. So imagine what that does to your social media. If you can take that into account when you are creating your content and understand that simple wins every single time, and make it so that somebody can see it, who's blind is a bat, that may dramatically increase your conversions. Part of design, right? You've got to look at who's using your landing pages. Is your landing page optimized for mobile? And somebody who's blind as a bat. And then build a plan. And you stick with it. Rome was not built in a day. Anybody that tells you that ads are instantaneous, business is instantaneous, you can work a 4-hour work week, is probably lying through their teeth, or they haven't done it themselves. I'm just going to put that out there. Yes, you can dramatically decrease the amount of time you're spending marketing by doing effective advertising. Dramatically. And you can dramatically scale your business using advertising, or they've done the work for years prior. Yes. But I find a lot of people are not quite honest with their level of expertise or how much time they're spending. Keep trying things. If one thing doesn't work, the next may. And you have to stick with it long enough to succeed. Remember when I said 3 to 6 months? Because here's the thing, only 15% of ad campaigns are truly successful. It's not you. Okay. So if you go through 5 or 6 or 20 ad campaigns before you hit one that's successful, or messages before you hit one that's successful, and you get opt-ins, you're not a bad person. You're not bad at advertising. Yeah, you should look at the health of your business in terms of quarters, not months, not days, not weeks. Correct. It will help you to keep from freaking out. I will tell you, I do the same thing. And it does help me definitely not need a Valium salt lick in my kitchen. Do not do ads if you cannot afford to lose any money. If that is your grocery money, please don't spend money on ads. And here's the thing, you don't have to spend massive amounts of money on ads to be successful. You can do campaigns at $2, $3, $5 a day. And in fact, I recommend starting for most people with $2 or $3 or $5 a day per campaign, per image, per copy. See what works, take it down. If it doesn't look like it's going to start behaving itself after spending 15 or 20 bucks. You may have to get to $100 for a campaign to really give you any good data, or $250, okay? Depending on who you talk to, you're going to have to spend some money to know if that campaign failed. So if you don't have a little bit of money to test, and you are kind of playing the slots, y'all, there is a bit of gambling involved. If you're not testing and trying, and you're not willing to lose any money, and you're not able to lose any money, and you're not able to afford to lose any money, don't do it. You know, that's just the reality. Don't do it if you can't afford it. Don't sign up for a coach if you are expecting immediate results, because there is no amount of information I can give you instantaneously that is going to turn your business and 10x your business in 30 days, unless you were only making $1 a day anyway. And then we can talk. But then it's probably not in your budget to hire me. So now we're to the fun part, Q&A. What do y'all want to know about ads? Creatives, copy, anything. Use your graphics. Use lots of different graphics. Don't just stick with one. 10 or 20 is usually a good number, and you're going to have to cycle through a bunch, right? So a lot of different campaigns and a lot of different things. You have an analogy that I made you think of? Y'all can unmute yourselves if you wish.
So Haley, last weekend, and I think about this, it's like ad campaign for me. Last weekend, the whole family was in. We went off to the casino with a budget, my budget for ads. And I was sitting at a slot machine, and it was taking money. The person beside me is putting hundreds, and it's just taking the money. $20, they're taking my money. I'm walking to the next machine. So I'm thinking about the ad, right? Oh, tweaking the ad, running to the next machine, get to the next machine. I walked away that night with $450, not before touching 7 machines. And having fun. Exactly. It was an evening out and within my budget. So budget in the casino, play on the different machines. I'm thinking about tweaking ads. So yes, I had an analogy that gave me pleasure thinking.
Yeah, if you read Brendan Kane's 1 Million Followers, it's a great book. I don't need to recreate the wheel, so I'm happy to give you other resources.
Brendan Kane, Kane.
Brendan, Kane.
Thank you.
You know, and he talks about, you know, getting followers at whatever a click, right? And the advertising rates have changed a bit. But one of the pieces of information that he shares is, oh, well, you're doing a like campaign, basically. It's an engagement campaign with an objective of likes. And he talks about testing dozens of different graphics and dozens of different, slightly different messages. And, you know, and he even shows you, oh, well, we had a whale and it was, you know, like 20 different versions of almost exactly the same graphic, but this whale with its flipper flipped up just so got more conversions than, you know, whatever. So one of the things you run into and you're like, well, why does it cost so damn much to hire a marketer, right? Or an advertising agency? Well, if we are creating 20, 30, 50 graphics, and then we're testing 20, 30, and 50 graphics for your ad campaign, and we're going up and we're going $25 here, $25 here, $25 here, killing the losers, you can start to get a feel for why is this taking so long and why does it cost so much? And it's not like somebody is being awful. It's just, it takes a lot of things. And similarly on Google Ads, right? You've got to find the right keywords. You've got to find the right copy. You've got to tweak 50 different options for one little thing to get it right. And a lot of people want the quick fix. And I'm here to tell you, I wish there was such a thing as a quick fix here. It is really not as quick as sometimes people try to lead you to. Yeah, it makes sense, right? All of a sudden you start to see the, oh, that's why, right? So if you think about why does somebody click, a lot of times it's because that graphic or that word caught them. So you've got to try a lot of different words, a lot of different graphics, different versions of videos if you're doing videos. And don't be afraid to try different things and shoot the losers. You know, don't feed the buzzards. Feed the eagles.
I know for me, Haley, having my cats be a part of whatever campaign seems to work, because anytime I'm making something or doing an event or, you know, setting up an event, I usually have a cat, as you guys saw a little while ago, sitting right here on my shoulder. 90% of the time I've got some furry creature on me. So they end up being a part of all of it. Those ads, those things work for me because I feel like they're personal, but they're also relatable.
Yeah. I find that people relate better when you're like a human being, not a human doing. Like a lot of people have related to me. You know, I'm a mom, I have 4 kids. I have one with psychiatric issues. I've got 3 other kids, and we're driving all over God's green earth and doing all the things. And the dog, thank God, is out of the cone, and my shins may never recover. But just like being a real person, people really relate to. And just like keeping it raw and real is super important because I feel like there's too much hype and hoopla, especially in the online world, that's like intentionally like fakery a bit. And people are being told to kind of fake. And I'm like, honestly, you just need to show up as you are. And that needs to be incorporated like into your ads and stuff. Raquel, you were asking a question or you had your hand up? You are muted, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, now it's okay. You can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
so yes, thank you for this. This is precious because for me, when you said ads, I immediately thought it was Facebook ads, you know, in my mind. And now I'm coming here and I find all these options. And I realized that actually I have my most, the biggest amount of following in YouTube, where I have around 18,000 followers, subscribers. And I haven't convert them into leads or anything. I just keep doing videos and that keeps increasing. And I was wondering if it was pertinent to do small YouTube campaign, a small but constant, where constantly people are coming and get an opt-in, free opt-in, but they become you understand, they go into my newsletter list, and so is it in you, because I don't have a clue about YouTube. The little I know about ads has been in Facebook. And so YouTube, I don't have a clue how it works, and I wonder
It's Google.
It's Google. Okay. Okay.
It's based from Google. Google owns YouTube.
Okay.
And you can actually set the YouTube ads up from your Google Ads Manager, ads.google.com. And most of the time when you set up a new Google account, as you're setting it up, you can actually get a $500 ad credit from them. It's like, It's not like a straight, like the first $500. It's like if you spend $500, they give you 500. So the other thing I would say is make sure that you're updating the descriptions underneath all of your videos to have like the link at least to your website and your opt-in and stuff, so that people are seeing.
Yeah, but I do have. Okay, but that's great information. Okay, with YouTube, but then it's Google. I don't have a clue about Google and all that, but I will figure it out.
Ads.google.com. Seriously, they make it easy to set up the ads.
Okay.
Your performance may vary a little bit, but getting started with a couple of dollars a day, like $2 to $3 to $5 a day, will probably go a long way towards that. And there's also a tab in YouTube now that allows you to do some promotion in YouTube.
Great. I have already, I'm receiving money from YouTube for every month, like 70 euros or something like that. It's not like a big, but it's like, well, and so from that, maybe I can convert it into ad money or something. Okay, I will figure it out.
The other thing you should know is that YouTube also now has, when you're managing your channel, if you go into the back managing your channel, one of the tabs is doing promotion, and it's in beta. So you may not have it yet, but I have it on my channel.
Okay, I will check. I haven't checked anything of this, so this is great. I will go into this and make it work. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it can also help you grow the number of followers you have. And the more followers you have, the more viewers you have, the more you're promoting your videos, the more hours of views you have, and the more engagements you have, as you know, because you're over the 1,000 mark. The hours of views is critical for monetization. So you can actually dramatically increase your monetization by promoting, the videos that are doing the best.
And is just last question, is it possible to just promote to my subscribers? Yeah. Or
I have not tried that yet.
Okay. Just to know, because that would be ideal. But I will
I would want to promote to everybody, honestly, to get more subscribers, but also to get more views.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, my goal for you at this point would be views, hours of views. Secondarily, getting people subscribing to the newsletter. So I would probably do an ad through Google that actually displays on YouTube, and have that be for your subscribers, a free something, and then drive other traffic to your website, other ways, and drive people to viewers. It would probably be a multi-layered strategy, not just like a one thing and done. The best strategies for business, for marketing nowadays, are multi-dimensional and layered, and a little bit more nuanced than you might think.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So Marian, you may do a video of yourself playing and then like put subtitles over it or all kinds of things. You can voice over it. You can do all kinds of things with it. I really liked your idea that you previously had of like sitting on the beach and being recorded, doing it on the beach or whatever, and doing something really artistic. You could probably honestly dually monetize your business, one for the teaching side and one just as the celebrity cello player.
Yeah, I love that idea of being outside and getting some video footage of me outside, because I'm finding with the ads that people really respond to the pictures of me with my cello like in nature.
Mhm.
They just love that stuff. There's like one of me sitting in a park like with my cello like on a bench, and like it just went crazy. Like people just love it. So I
Yeah,
think there's
exactly,
something there's something about that, like, I don't know, a romantic image, I guess.
Well, and there's whole YouTube channels of people playing musical
Yeah.
instruments in exotic
Mhm.
settings that people will
Yeah.
just sit there and watch. So it's not just
Yeah.
the music, but the setting. And it
Yeah.
becomes a bit, so you have your high ticket offer, people aspire to that. And then you also have your viewers and your fans who are watching you, who are monetizing you that way.
Mhm.
So it can go kind of two ways.
Cool.
Any other questions?
What about me? What do you think? Do you think Facebook is the best place for me to start ads if I do ads?
What you need to do, my friend, is a like campaign on your Positively Apex to get your numbers up, because then you can use that more as a feature for your advertising and get more sponsors. And then I would do $1 a day on a like campaign, and I would do $1 a day on getting traffic to your website and getting opt-ins to your subscribers. And
Okay.
I would target it to Apex, Holly Springs, Fuquay, Cary, and like the surrounding, like,
Yeah.
plus or minus 15 minutes either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like 27519 necessarily, and 27511, but not necessarily, things that are like all the way around the other side of Raleigh,
Right.
because you need everything that's Apex adjacent. In case you guys don't know, Leslie and I know each other like in person. She lives like 10 minutes from me, so that's why I'm telling her specific zip codes. What other questions do you have? So I would be doing about $60 a month in ads on your stuff. If you want me to show you how to set them up, I can do that. And she's also a client as well. I built her website. And we keep building new stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's the Tinker Toy website. Any other questions or comments? Marketing, ads, any of the stuff? And if there's no questions about ads, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then y'all can ask me whatever other stuff here.